south. Not sure why LAX won't allow us to get into their airspace, but we're sitting up here basically at USC. Looks like he made a turn underneath the overpass. Going to see if he pops out the other side. There he is. Now he's back on. He's going to be on the Grand. And he's continuing, he's making his way southbound. Before we know it, he's going to be by the 105 freeway. I'm saying that so maybe Dylan can expedite us getting into the LAX airspace. But it does look like this is a one-way street, and he is going the wrong way on that one-way. Got a little bit of air right there. You got some pedestrians out on the roadway. Another hard turn, making his way into a neighborhood out there. It's going to be a little difficult for us to follow it right now because we are so far away. But we're going to do the best we can. I'm going to get a little bit of a wider shot. I have to listen to the scanner right now to see where he pops out. Eastbound Broadway, so I'm southbound Broadway. So he's got to be over here somewhere, and we'll try to get eyes back on it. And we'll try to follow it some more with you.
Okay, yeah. So what we know right now is it began after 1 p.m., so about 30 minutes or so, if that. In North Hollywood, a white BMW that we are trying to keep track of. We do see some police cruisers down below, so assuming they are going in that direction. Now that he's in that neighborhood, it is a bit difficult to see. You mentioned the driving erratically. We did see him just now going the wrong way, but it seemed as though, at least from our vantage point, the speed wasn't a factor, at least in this particular area right now, Stu.
Oh, speed.
There we see more police cruisers.
Speed is definitely a factor out here. This vehicle moving very, very fast. Apparently back on Manchester, back underneath the freeway. I'm trying to find it. Driver's out of the vehicle, and he's out running right now. 4 suspects running at this point. We're going to get a little bit closer. We're going to try to get it right where he is. I think it's probably right behind that building right there, but we're going to make our way back over there, and we're going to get a peek at it right now. Everybody out of the vehicle. The vehicle stopped, and they are going to, and the 4 people jumped out of that car and right now are running.
4 people. Okay, so 4 people were in that vehicle. Can you tell us exactly what the intersection is, just so people have a sense of where we are?
Well, it's going to be the South Los Angeles area. I heard 88th place is where they're going to be making that turn. So those guys are going a little bit past it. So it's going to be somewhere right over in this area right here. Let's see if we can get a little bit wider. I definitely heard them say 88th place. So that's going to be right in this area. You can see an LAPD unit going the opposite direction. So that's going to be on 88th Street. So it's got to be somewhere right here in this general location. Going to get a little bit wider, see if those LAPD officers get a better grasp where it is on the ground as well. But I definitely heard them say 88th place just a moment ago. And the last cross I heard was going to be Grand. So it's got to be somewhere right over here in this area. We're going to keep an eye out, and it apparently is on the west side of the freeway, but Dylan, my pilot, is calling it out right now. So you've got officers there, but I believe that's going to be the perimeter area. We're going to keep an eye on it. We'll try to find that car for you guys here in just a moment.
Right. Oftentimes when you have a situation like this, police officers try to establish a perimeter, and obviously that is what we're seeing. We're seeing a number of police cruisers spread out throughout this vicinity. But what we can say is the very few details that we know. A pursuit took place a little bit after 1 o'clock. It began in North Hollywood, a burglary suspect, but we did find out that 4 individuals did jump out of that vehicle. It was a white BMW, and at this point, we're assuming those individuals perhaps ran in different directions. So this does complicate things a little bit more, Stu, because obviously now they're scattered throughout this vicinity, trying to probably blend in with the public.
You're definitely right. Right now, I'm just trying to find exactly where that car was. Actually, they basically were saying that it was just parked on the curb somewhere. You can see officers out there starting to set up their perimeter. They're just making their way over here to this location as well, but where they are exactly is still unknown. Now, those suspects definitely jumped out of that vehicle and definitely are running. You can see that officer very agitated and pointing, but he's not going back to that general direction. They're setting up a perimeter right right here. I'm still trying to just trying to get eyes on where that car might have stopped and or where that airship is seeing these guys running. They are keeping an eye on the driver of that vehicle. They've given out the descriptions to the guys on the ground, hoodies and sweatpants, but apparently 4 people jumped out of that vehicle when this thing came to a stop out here, South Los Angeles. Right now, LAPD, they're working to set up a perimeter. You can see those officers pretty much having about as hard time as we are just to get a general location of this area. Now, I have a feeling that these guys are a little bit farther away from where this thing actually came to an end. We know it's a white BMW right now, though, still trying to find it. More officers making their way over here. They want to take these people into custody. I just want to get a feel for where this thing came to an end.
It seems like just if you pan a little up over there, we saw some people approaching the police officers. We don't know, though, who they are and what they're inquiring about. But obviously the perimeter is a bit larger, which makes it more complicated to follow because there are several positions now that we're trying to keep a track of, in addition to the fact that we don't know where the vehicle came to a stop, but somewhere in this vicinity, it just makes it more complicated, obviously, and we understand that.
Definitely. Well, you know, the officers, the helicopter saw it. The helicopter knows where this thing came to an end. The helicopter knows exactly where that car is. And, of course, they are making the call to the guys on the ground. I'm splitting my attention between you and trying to get some information from the helicopter at the same time. But, yes, anything you can do, Dylan, anything you can do. But it definitely came to an end over here somewhere off of 88th Place. I know that for a fact, and that's what we're looking at right there. That's going to be 88th Place. It might have actually stopped underneath the bridge. There's a good possibility about that as well. You can see all the officers, their vehicles are pointed inward, so that means that this is going to be the general area for that perimeter. Now, they did have eyes on these guys when they were running. They were talking about the areas where they saw them running to. Right now, though, you just can see a number of officers down there. They're setting up that perimeter, and of course, they want to take these guys into custody without any kind of incident. Do they know this area? Was this a destination? Was this just a spot where they figured this would be a good place to jump out and try to run? All that, yeah, we might not ever really know the answer to those questions. But right now, though, LAPD out here and the search just kicking off for 4 suspects who were involved in a pursuit that brought them to the South Los Angeles area from North Hollywood.
And we do see some people coming out, and I know curiosity often does that, but we have to assume that when it comes to a situation like this, people can be armed and can be dangerous. Therefore, we encourage people in this vicinity, in this neighborhood, to stay indoors and to stay safe until this is safely resolved. All right, Stu. Well, we appreciate you and Dylan up in Skyfox. We'll keep an eye on things, of course, and if we need to, we'll come back in, or we'll have the very latest as to what transpired and what happened coming up later this evening during the Fox 11 News. Appreciate it. We're going to connect you back to your regularly scheduled programming right now.
Waiting in line, you would give him your name, and then when you get to a certain point of the ride, they would say your name.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah.
That is cute.
I used to love that. All the names kind of sounded the same, but
they have the Harry Potter ride there too, right? The Wizarding World. See, that one made me sick.
I haven't been
the 3D,
It's like one of those simulation
virtual reality.
Yeah.
But their other roller coaster is cool. And have you had butterbeer, my dear?
I have.